So Draymond, obviously, beginning of the season, not really what anybody expected. But was there a point, or when was there a point where you sort of changed your mentality and just said, you know what, if the wins aren't going to necessarily be there, I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to really build something here while we're in this transition.
Very early. When Steph went down, we kind of had a few games after that, and just kind of quickly realized like it's not. Let's forget it's not going to be easy. Like it's going to be extremely tough. So what can I do to help get something out of this? And for me, it's like, okay, Steph will be back next year. Klay will be back next year. So how can I help these young guys grow so when we're at full strength, they're ready to go. And, they'll have experience under their belt. When you look at the last few years, young guys weren't really able to get experience with us because we were rolling. And so just quickly changed my mindset to how can I lead these young guys, be that veteran leader to show them the way and help prime them for next year.
So of those guys, let's start with, your rookie, Pascal. What have you seen in him? How has he taken to your leadership?
He's always thirsty for knowledge. He's very humble and listens to everything, and it's a good trait, especially when you have the success that he's had so quickly. Coming in as a second-round pick, you usually don't even play. And things happen and all of a sudden he gets thrown into the fire. And he didn't only handle it well, he exceeded all the expectations. And sometimes your head can get a little big. You think you know it all, you think you got it figured out, not him. He doesn't feel like that at all, he doesn't act like that. And it's fun trying to lead a guy like that. I essentially played my same position. I remember when I came in the league, I was playing behind David Lee, who I am still super close friends with, and he taught me everything he knew. And for me, I think that's my duty and responsibility to try to teach him everything that I know.
David Lee was at the Heat Lakers game with Carolyn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Across the way, sitting right next to J-Lo. D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell. Last couple of games has been huge. How have you seen him sort of settle into his role?
He's really settled in. Early on, you can kind of see that he wanted it to happen so bad and pressing a little bit. And, he's settled down now and just being the player that he is. Taking what the defense gives him, creating for other people, but also creating for himself as well. He's been extremely aggressive on the offensive end. And what's exciting to me is he's playing better on the defensive end. We all know he can score the basketball, but one thing I've spoken to him about is, if you want to take that next step in your career, the defensive end is going to be important. And it's not that you're going to go and be Patrick Beverly, but you don't need to be Patrick Beverly. But you do have to compete on that end and give effort. And if you compete and give effort on that end, then myself and Willie and Loon and Marquise and all of us other guys can then do what we need to do to cover if you get beat, or to switch out if you're late on a switch, and then we can kind of cover where we need to cover, as you do for a lot of people on the offensive end. And I think that's a great partnership. And so that's something I spoke to him about, and he's been doing a really good job at it as of late. And we'll need him to continue to grow in that area as he's been doing.
What have you noticed from Steve, his approach to this year and the rest of you guys?
I think Steve's approach has been amazing. He's kind of found that balance of not settling for losing, but understanding the circumstances and not going too hard on everybody as well. And that's important, because what you don't want to do is kill guys' confidence. It's so early on, they're trying to find their way. And if you take their confidence, it's impossible to find your way. And so I think he's done a fantastic job of, trying to teach, trying to encourage playing winning basketball, but at the same time understanding the circumstances, understanding the youth that we have, and trying to, point guys and move guys in the right direction. And, as of late, we're starting to see some of it coming together. For me, it's, this year has been a lot of kind of taking a step back. When you're in the middle of something, it's hard to really just take a step back and actually realize what you're doing. I don't think our run as the Warriors is over, but it's definitely on hold. And so just really taking a step back and appreciating what we've been able to accomplish, what I've been able to accomplish as a player. And once I really started to look, it's like, wow, I've actually been able to accomplish way more than I even noticed or realized when you're in the mix of it. And, to hear a guy like Bam say that he modeled his game after me, like, that's a dream come true. I've modeled my game after guys, and, we all do it, right? To be one of those guys that someone modeled their games after, it means a lot because you always have that question of like, am I leaving an impact? Like, oh, I may be playing well, I may be winning, but what is my impact? Am I actually, when I leave this game, will someone actually remember me because I impacted the game in a certain way? And for a young guy like that, a young up-and-coming star who probably will win Most Improved Player this year, it really means a lot to me. And I've been a fan of his game since he was at Kentucky. And it's ironic that he says he modeled his game after me because I've been watching him and I love what he brings to the floor.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.